Okay.
Okay, I try not to laugh.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is Jared's Q here, or you may also know me as Brent, and I'm back with another video, this time with my lovely girlfriend, Amy.
Hi.
So we're going to be talking about a topic as well as making another video which is going to be linked at the end of this video, and also in the description another video that's kind of a challenge, more humorous kind of video of some description. But this video, I hope you enjoy what we're going to be talking about and get something out of it. Take it with a grain of salt as always. And the topic is going to be self-esteem. So I guess to start off with, we need to have a bit of an idea, be on the same page as to what self-esteem is.
I think it's kind of interchangeable with like self-confidence, the way you feel about yourself and how confident you are around other people and how true to yourself you are.
Self-esteem is how you value yourself, how you see yourself, and often it's in comparison to others, and that's how we rate ourselves, and that then becomes our self-esteem sort of thing. I guess from a very young age we are trying to build our self-esteem, build our self-image, trying to figure out who we are from a young age, and those traits and different things that make us who we are and what we try to do to fit in, like we start doing all these different things to try and feel good about ourselves from a pretty young age. We were down in Sydney just the other day and there were a bunch of little girls running around, and one of the girls was clearly the leader of the group, and all the other girls were sort of following along with what she wanted to do. And I guess that's something that we sort of naturally do, is we try to fit in.
Try to follow someone who's like really confident.
Yeah. So there's different ways that we try to feel good about ourselves, that we try to build our identity, and I guess self-esteem, like you want to feel good about yourself, that's kind of how it works.
One of the biggest things I guess for girls would be like fashion and trying to dress the same as everybody else, or trying to dress to impress people. There's nothing really wrong with like dressing to look nice, dressing to make people see you and think that you look nice, but when you're drawing on that to build your confidence in yourself, it doesn't really work all that well.
Because we rely on other people, it's like the peer pressure and that sort of thing. Like we want to have cool friends, and then what they're wearing we want to wear, or we want to look as good as they look. Or with girls it's like you want to be noticed, and so there's different things that people choose to wear. Guys, it's kind of, you need to have an identity as something, like either as a guy, someone who's sporty or strong, or maybe a hard worker. But there's all these different crowds that you try to fit in and be a part of.
Yeah.
And I think as well for girls, like something that I see often with girls is, and it's particularly with the invention of internet and social media and all that, we've got Facebook and Instagram and all these different things which are giving people ways to rate themselves.
Yeah.
There's quantifiable numbers on Facebook and Instagram, because you can be seeing how many likes you're getting or how much people are commenting and interacting with what you're saying.
If you get enough likes, it makes you feel confident about yourself because so many people have liked that picture. So then we try and create pictures or statuses that encourage people to like that, and pretty quickly we figure out the things that
people want to
see. So as girls, that tends to be quite related to their bodies, what they wear and how they do their makeup. So just appearances is what they use for self-esteem, is how they look, how they appear to people.
It's like the outside appearance, and they're setting up an identity on Facebook, on Instagram, of themselves that they think people will like, and they're getting likes and they're getting comments and interaction from these people, but they're not actual real interaction.
Basically, you set up an image of yourself that is what you ultimately want people to see you as, and yet it means that you have to hide who you really are so that they don't see the things about you that you don't like.
You're just pushing it all down, and all of that, who you are, it'll just tear at each other, because it's like who you are truly and then who you want to be and who you want people to see you as, and it's just like a constant war, like battle within yourself.
But it's not just the likes either, it's how actual people that you do interact with like you. So at school, uni, or at work, how people perceive you is often based on the way that you look. So there's a lot of pressure on girls and guys to look, act and say the right stuff to get people to appreciate you on first appearances, on the way they see you, and then it kind of stays there. Most people don't want to get deeper than that, so they never really know who you are, which counteracts what you're trying to do to create self-esteem and self-confidence. You're trying to build it up using appearances, and yet you're getting more and more depressed because people aren't seeing you for who you really are.
Yeah, if you rock up the first time you meet someone, or the first time at school, or first day at university or something, if you rock up with makeup on as a girl, not as a guy, I never wear makeup. As a girl, you rock up with makeup on and like really nice clothes, and you've got your hair all perfect, then there's pressure, because if you then get up the next day and you like don't feel like doing all that work to present yourself, then you're going to feel really bad about yourself, and that self-esteem, it's because you've sort of presented a version of yourself that you think people will like, and then there's the pressure to maintain that. And for guys as well, like, we want to be seen as successful, as confident, and all these different things, and so if we don't come across that we know what we're doing, we're very afraid to admit that we don't know what we're doing, or that we aren't sure what the future holds, or that we're scared, or all those kind of things. So
wait,
with guys
get scared?
Yes. With guys, that means that because we don't want people to know that we're struggling or whatever it is, often we don't talk, we don't communicate, and that can lead to really big issues with self-esteem, and can lead to anxiety and depression, and that can be a really big reason why suicide in men is much higher than in women. We've talked about all the different things that people try to do to build their self-esteem, and the ways that we try to fit in. What then should we be doing about building our self-esteem?
Well, like I said before, there's nothing wrong with wearing things that look nice, or trying to look good for people, for guys, trying to be, you know, fit and strong, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with wanting to be a bit cool. But if we're building our entire confidence and self-esteem on those things, it's all going to collapse pretty quickly. The instant that anyone sees something that doesn't line up with that identity that you've created. Well, you know, fashion changes, so that's not going to last. You can't wear the same clothes forever. If fashion is what holds you up, you have to constantly change what you wear, which is exhausting. And things like friends come and go. Some are real and some aren't. And I guess you can't have real friends if nobody knows who you really are. So it's probably really important that people actually see you for who you are, not just what you look like, so that you have real friends that are going to last forever. And so that you don't get depressed because nobody loves you, nobody really knows you, and nobody cares about you.
And you feel like you can't actually talk to people and open up to them. So I guess that's the thing, like, we have to be okay to be ourselves, to be true to ourselves, and not get so caught up on presenting what we think people want. Because whenever I see someone who is being themselves and being real, even, because there's a lot of people who you sort of see and you're like, oh wow, they look really cool, and sometimes those people who look like they've got it all together are even they are presenting something that's not true. It can happen quite easily. It's the people who aren't afraid to be real and talk about real stuff and actually open up to people and be honest about who they are, what they want, where they're going, say what their tastes are, even like what they think about certain things, what they believe, their morals, saying no to alcohol or whatever, just like all these different things. Like, you don't have to fit in with everybody else. And I think whenever I see someone being real like that and not being afraid to be themselves, it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
I know that the times that I don't sell out, I guess, if I'm real to who I know that I am deep down, then that is when I feel the best about myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, anytime that I feel like I'm trying to fit in or I'm selling out or whatever, there's just something deep down inside you that's just like, wow, like, what are you doing kind of thing.
Yeah. For me personally, I've struggled with self-esteem and self-confidence at various different times in my life, sometimes for long periods and sometimes shorter periods, but I've always been able to come back to one thing that's kept me going, and that is my identity in my faith in God and the fact that He loves me and He made me exactly the way I am, and He loves me that way and He's got a purpose for me. So I know that even though I struggle with the same things that every other girl does, in the end, I know I was made perfect for a perfect thing that He has for me. And I still don't know exactly what that is, but I keep coming back to that. And so it doesn't matter what struggles I'm going through, I know that I'm loved. And that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, and I guess it's that we are loved for who we are, where we're at, you know, our mistakes, all those sort of things, we are still loved, which is pretty amazing and awesome. It's something that in today's world isn't very common. We're often sort of quantified, which is really bad for self-esteem, because I believe in God, that He created me. It's just really awesome to know that He loves me as I am and as He created me. So having that as a part of my identity, like, I mean, I've struggled with a lot of different things, and it's okay to struggle with things even if you are a Christian. Like I've struggled with self-esteem, but mostly like anxiety and depression. But through all that, even though I have been getting anxious or depressed about things, I've still known that there was hope. Because God had a plan, and He still loved me regardless of how I felt about myself. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much finished the topic for today. We can talk about it more. You can send me messages on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and leave comments and stuff. Remember, when you're in the comments, try to be encouraging. Don't tear other people down. And there's another video that's going to be going up pretty soon. By the time you see this, it might be already up, in which we are going to be doing a kind of challenge that's kind of related to self-esteem. It's about how we know each other kind of thing, like just questions.
Basically going to prove how real we've been with each other. So,
yeah.
So we know.
So we might find out if we've been fake, pretending.
Yeah.
It's scary. But yeah, so that video is going to be around somewhere in the description, and you can click on it somewhere around, just floating around out there. So yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Amy, for being awesome and really beautiful. We will see you I will see you in, I don't know, she'll be around, I guess. She'll be around somewhere. I'll be around seeing you, looking at you guys,
stalking you.
Okay, I'm scared. Yeah, so if you want to watch the other video, go see that, and yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.